If someone handed you a box of crowns and a piece of paper and told you to draw your childhood, to draw what you saw happening around you, what would that picture look like? These are the pictures that some children living on the border of Darfur drew. When talking about an overseas conflict, it can sometimes feel make-believe. It might seem as relevant as a history book. But there's nothing make-believe about these pictures. The reality of the situation is that these drawings stand for real neighborhoods and homes. These drawings stand for their friends and families. The Holocaust, Cambodia, Rwanda, and Bosnia. After every case of genocide, the world looks back on it and asks the exact same question. How could the world allow this to happen? But right now, this is exactly what we're doing in Darfur, as thousands of children are slaughtered, villages are burned, women are raped, and over 2 million are left to wander through the desert looking for a place to live peacefully. Many of these victims have traveled to the refugee camps on the border of Chad, but even these are full of diseases, overcrowded, and still attacked. With George Bush publicly labeling the Darfur situation as genocide, and Barack Obama mentioning it in interviews, the majority of U.S. citizens have at least heard of the atrocities in Darfur. But the problem isn't just a matter of informing people of genocide, it's also a matter of our incentive. Separated by an Atlantic Ocean, we figure that it's not our problem. I want to say that it is our problem. It is humanity's problem as a whole because it threatens humanity in itself. Martin Luther King Jr. said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Sudan is the largest country in Africa. The country has been under almost non-stop violence for the past 60 years. In 1956, it became fully independent from Britain, who had been treating Sudan as its imperial territory. Until this independence, northern and southern Sudan had been kept separated from each other. After being reunited, two civil wars broke out which continued for the rest of the 20th century. The wars were caused by the political, economic, and social domination by the northern Islamic-based governments. This outraged southern Sudan, who was mostly non-Muslim and non-Arab. In 2003, after multiple attacks on the Sudanese government by the Darfur rebels, the government gathered their own troops, sending them out to murder these rebels. These were the Janjaweed militias, which literally translates to the devils on horseback, who targeted specific ethnic groups who were most responsible for rebels' recruitments. This quickly turned into an extermination of the races, the majority of who were completely innocent civilians. 88% of the people that the government's Janjaweed murder are civilians. 70% of these deaths are one-sided, meaning that they are unarmed or don't even put up a fight. Similar to the tactics used by the Nazis, the government would issue an air attack on the village, then send in artillery, followed by troops whose purpose was to burn, kill, rape, and destroy everything that was left over. Of all the villages that belong to the targeted ethnic groups, 90% have been destroyed, with more destroyed still today. There are more ways for you to get involved and help the situation in Darfur, but I would start by checking out a few of these websites. From there you can learn, you can sign petitions, and you can learn about future rallies or service projects.